what we did, we left these lids off while we were driving down the road so we didn't have to strap it down. Sometimes they'll blow off, but we're going to cover them up before we get into the bee yard. We don't want any robbing. Some of these supers have some crystallized honey still in them, so we just want to get those covered up before we get into the yard. Hey everybody, I know it's been a while since we made a video. We apologize for that. We've just been super busy. But we're out in one of our yards today. We made some splits over a double screen board last week. We inserted some queen cells, and we want to make sure that those have emerged and are doing good, or decide if we need to put more cells in or if we need to combine them back. We're also going to be doing some feeding, and there's a few little tips and tricks that we like to use, especially feeding a small colony in a large yard. You know, you can have robbing issues and stuff like that, but we've got a certain way that we do it, and it may help prevent some robbing in your colonies if you give it a try. So that's what we're going to do today. We wanted to bring you along and show you how we do it. Hey guys, I'm not sure if you can see this yard. When I was talking in one of our earlier videos, it's important to have good access to your bee yards, especially in inclement weather. This is what I mean. We had to come in here last week because we had sales and we had to split this yard up, and we made a mess out of it. We got stuck and about had to get pulled out and everything else. So what you need to do is make sure the yards are very accessible for you, or you've got a better truck than we do, because this is treacherous to get in and out of. You tear your truck up and get stuck and everything else. So we got out and we got it handled, but now we're going to have to come back and fix the property, because I'm not going to leave a guy's property looking like this. So that's more money and more time. So it's always good to have good access to your bee yards and well drained soil, so you're not getting stuck in the process of working your bees. Hey, on this colony here, it needs space. It's right on track where I want it to be. I don't want to split it yet. I want it to make me some honey this year. So if you look right here, what we've done, I've got splits in this yard, so I'm not feeding liquid feed right now. I'm feeding some sugar bricks, and that's okay. They'll still brood up on it. Throw them another pollen supplement just in case we get some bad weather in the next week or so. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to give this colony some space. I've got the cluster in direct contact with the pollen supplement and the sugar brick, but I want a super on here as well. So I'm going to take a super, a comb, and I'm going to place it on top. I'm going to close this colony up. Now, what we just did is we gave this colony space. We may have to come back in a week or so and pull some brood off of it. If we do, that's fine. We'll give it to this colony beside of it. Keep in mind, the way we fed with this feeder rim on here, they're more than likely going to draw burr comb and ladder comb in between the boxes. But I would rather have them on food, and I don't want to use liquid feed in my yard right now at the moment because of robbing, because we've got these new splits. Anytime your yard starts robbing when you're splitting colonies, your queen acceptance just took a nosedive. So keep that in mind. So we're using sugar bricks. We had them left over. Didn't cost us any money. We didn't have to make any sugar syrup. And we're about 2 weeks away from our main nectar flow. So that's what we're doing today. On this colony, this one was right on the money where we wanted it. This one we made a split, and all we did is we split it over a double screen board, added a super while we were out here. We got a double screen divider board, and we gave this part a cell. So we're going to look at this colony, see where they're at today, and hopefully they'll be ready for a super. And they are not, so we're going to leave them alone. We're going to let them grow. And another thing I may do in another week, I may move some of these frames around, get them drawing them out equally and all that good stuff. They're drawn, but the cluster's over here, and they really need a frame of brood. So what we'll probably do is we'll dig into another colony and give us another frame of brood. The pattern was good. I checked it. She looked good. She just needs some more bees. And And with this colony here, like I said, it's a smaller split we took from the bottom colony here, the pink box. It's got a medium super, a double screen divider board. And what we do is we take a sponge and we just plug that divider board, just give them a smaller entrance. That helps prevent robbing, helps them get established good. And I want to look in here today and see what's going on. And it acts like this colony is being robbed, but we'll see. It's hard to tell. A lot of times that's orientation bees trying to get out for their first flight. I don't see much activity at the front to indicate robbing, but you never know till you get in it. And like I said, we gave this colony a sale last week, and I just want to make sure that they've emerged. You don't want to be in a colony much after you've introduced a cell to them, because they can kill a virgin because of your disturbance. What I'm doing is I'm just glancing, I'm looking at the overall condition of the colony. And here's one of them right here. One of our cells. We inserted two because the weather was going to be cold. It did emerge. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. We're just going to remove this cell protector here. Now I know I don't have a laying queen at this point because it's not time. But I do like to see her if I can, but keep in mind, the more you're in here, the more chances you have of them not accepting that virgin. I'm just giving it a once over for her real quick. And with two cells also, they can fight amongst each other, and both of them could end up killing each other, and then you'd be queenless, so, and not know it for a while. Another thing I like about this double screen board, if this failed and we didn't have queens ready, I can pull from that bottom a frame of brood with the right age larvae or eggs, and I can make a walk-away split directly over top of this box. Nice frame of brood, but they don't have much stores. They're going through their stores pretty quick, and that's why we're going to get in here and feed them today. Gordon, will you grab a feeder rim, please? And I don't see the queen on this frame either. Doesn't mean we don't have one, but I'm not seeing her right now. And we should be seeing her, because it's not time for her mating flight just yet. I'm going to look over here one more time, and then we're going to close this colony up. There she is. Little small virgin queen running around the bottom. Right there. That's all I need to see. I want to close this colony up. And again, like I said, how we're going to feed it, right over the top. Sugar brick, pollen patty. That's plenty. This is all they need. That sugar brick's going to lessen the robbing. You can feed a smaller colony with a sugar brick versus a liquid feed, especially small nucs. The bees are less prone to robbing dry sugar than they are liquid feed, and especially when you have a small flow on like we do now, they pretty much leave it alone and they go after the liquid stuff. So that's just a little tip that might help you if you're trying to get a queen accepted in a small colony. It's not always preferable to use liquid feed during a robbing situation. You can always use dry sugar just like you do in the wintertime, and they'll still brood up most of the time. A little slightly less than what they would brood up with liquid feed, but they'll still brood. Keep in mind we have fed this yard with liquid feed, but this one's still got a dry sugar on top, so all we're going to do is give it some pollen supplement in case of the rain. And it's also high in carbohydrates too, so if they run out, that'll help get them by till we can get through here next week and drop some sugar syrup on these colonies. This colony beside of this one was actually queenless. Just a little small pitiful ball of bees. So we came through here and we gave it a cell when we split the rest of the colony. So we're going to check it while we're at it, just to see this sugar or this pollen patty is getting hard, so we're going to change it out. These small colonies can really benefit from pollen supplement this time of year, especially when they're weak like this and doesn't have a good foraging force. They can't get out and collect the pollen that these other colonies can, so it's really good to keep it on them. And like I say, I'm just looking for a queen, that they do have a virgin in here, and that the cell emerged. I dropped one of them. This cell did emerge. Now I'm just checking to see if she's in here. And there she is right there. She just went to the other side. Let me see if I can get you. These little virgins are fast. They can get around the comb pretty quick. I think she went back around on this side. There she is, wandering around up top now. So we do have a queen. It's not time for her mating flight yet, so we're going to close this up and move on to the next one. That's about all the pollen this colony can use. And I want to make sure that this cluster is going to stay in constant contact with food, because they don't have a lot of stores and we still have some cold nights coming. So put that there, and then we'll close this one up. This dry sugar over here, don't worry about it. The bees will clean it up, or I'll come back later and clean it up. And as you can see, we wrote cell 317 on the top of our box. It's easier than using a notepad to keep your notes. And we're going to see what the rest of the yard looks like. Another small split we made. Now keep in mind, we can get away with making these smaller splits because we have these colonies over the double screen boards and they're sharing the heat. I wouldn't want to make a 2-frame split this time of year without one, because it's still getting cold. But with that bottom mother colony providing the heat for this top colony, there's no issues with it. They'll just take a little longer to grow, but that's all right. We got all spring to get them where we need to be. Like I said, this one we also gave cells to. We ended up putting 2 cells because it was going to be cold. No issue with that. The only problem you run into is sometimes they'll fight and both of them will be injured. Pollen and nectar, we hadn't fed these in a while, so I believe that's a little bit of incoming nectar. But it would have been out of the bottom box when we made this split. I dropped that cell out, so and it did emerge. I'm not sure if you can see down in there. And I'm also checking for any cells that they may have started themselves and that she didn't take care of, because if we find them, we're going to kill them. There's our virgin walking around right there. No issues with her. She just needs to get mated, fatten up, and start laying. Real gentle. Actually, I believe it was right here. And this one was over here. Small piece of pollen, please. And just a little bit of pollen for them to chew on. And we're good with this one. So we'll put our rim back on and close it up. Corbin, grab this. And what we're going to do, we're going to check this one. Below it. And we're going to put a super on this one and a little bit of food. I'll take it. Thank you. So we've got our pollen and our food over a feeder rim, and now we're going to put a super drone comb on just to give them that extra space. Now we did split this colony, but we didn't pull a lot from it because we want to use it as a honey production colony. We only pulled maybe 2-3 frames of bees and gave them another drone comb down in the bottom. Now we may have to come back through here again and do the same thing in a week or so, just to make sure that we don't have a swarm, because this is a production colony. And also these will be coming off in 2 weeks, and they'll go on these pallets where we've got our dead outs or to a different yard, and they'll start building up. Next year they'll be production colonies for us, but we'll use these colonies all season to make splits off to build our numbers. Sorry, we ran out of space on the other card, or on the card, but that there's our virgin. We found her. We're going to close this colony up. And we're going to give them some feed. One thing I am curious about, if anybody knows, queen acceptance is a lot better when you're feeding your colonies. There's no doubt about that. If anybody knows if dry sugar is the same as liquid feed when it comes to that aspect, leave it in the comments below, because I'm curious. We've always, when we're trying to get queens accepted and there's not a robin situation going on, we've been trying to always use liquid feed because that seems to work the best. And I'm just curious if dry sugar also works. So if you know that, how about leaving a comment below and letting us know. It's not good to bang them around like that either. Alright, will you move that smoker, please? I'll gently set this one up here. remove our double screen board. This one's looking good. They're working as super we gave them last time, but they need food. Now keep in mind, they are going to probably draw some burr comb and ladder comb out, and we'll have to take care of that, but it's a lot better than your colony going without feed. This colony here, we didn't split it for some reason. I don't know why. It needs to be split now, but we're not prepared to do that today. Or we can take some frames of brood out of it and get to another colony, but we are going to put a super on it. We're going to give them a little bit of space. And they need feed. And we're not trying to get robin started, so we're still going to use these sugar bricks. They're a lot more trouble sometimes, but they're underutilized in my opinion for certain situations with bees. And keep in mind, these are drone combs. Foundation, get it on early. And if you're using double deeps, pull a frame of brood from the bottom, throw it in the top, and get them to start up here working on this box. If you don't, there's not a lot you can do. Just get it on early. You can coat it with some sugar syrup to try to get them to draw it out, but that's not always effective. Sorry, we got a bee in the microphone. 2 or 3 of them. That's a little tip you can use. Always check your lids. There's our virgin on top, and that tells me this colony needs feed. They need feed immediately. They're all up here into the sugar brick. They're running out of food. So we're going to close this back up, being careful not to hurt her. And we're going to give them some pollen. In this colony, what we'll do is we'll also bring another box set on top of it, and we're going to give this colony some liquid feed or a jar, because they're going to have some liquid feed. They obviously have consumed what I gave them in the split, and that's bad. So we're going to close this one up, being careful not to hurt her in the process. There she is right there. They're not balling her, they're keeping her warm and protected. So we're good now, I believe, to shut this colony. Gently shut it. Now I need to put this back on. That's another reason you should always check your lids. I'm checking again, make sure I see her. And she is there. One thing I meant to mention, we're going back to Italian bees. In our colonies, we tried different things. We've got some Caucasians, Carniolan mixes, but in our location for what we do, we try to sell bees. We split early. Our honey flows short and fast. We need them built up early. As you can see, these bees are trying to find any entrance they can into this colony. That's a sure sign of robber bees trying to get into your boxes. That's another reason we're using that dry sugar this time of year. A lot of people don't do it, and I understand why. It's easier to do liquid feed, but sometimes when you're trying to get your queens accepted, that dry sugar can really help. Luckily, this colony didn't get split. We're just giving them some more space, so hopefully tonight this will settle down once they figure out they can't get in. And this colony down here is pretty strong. Another good thing to do would be reduce your entrance, but we don't have time to do that to all our colonies this time of year. So, but for backyard beekeepers and hobbyist beekeepers, reduce that entrance down. Get your robin under control, and remember, it's better to prevent it than it is to stop it, because it's real hard to get stopped once it gets started. Now, if you'll notice this box, I just showed you the other box what robin looks like, but an inexperienced beekeeper might assume that this is robin also, but it's not. We had this box off feeding this colony, and this was the entrance, so they were confused. Now they'll work this entrance back out. As you notice, there's nothing going on at the entrance, and we've got it plugged with a little piece of foam, but these bees are trying to get back into this box, and they'll figure it out, you know, in an hour or so. Same thing over here, we had that one off. And these bees are just confused, but they'll work out these entrances here in just a second. But it's cause we were manipulating this colony is why these bees are up here. They're fanning, no signs of robbing, no fighting at the entrance or anything like that. And if I was concerned it was robbing, I'd be looking more over here. If it was on this side, I would be concerned about it. But with them and going to the top instead of here with this box open a minute ago, I have no issues with that. Well guys, I hope you was able to take something away from today's video. I know it's been a while since we posted anything. We're not going anywhere. We got a lot of stuff to make for you guys and we're going to be getting after it. But we've been super busy, you know, trying to get everything done. The weather hadn't cooperated. I don't by any means advocate, you know, getting in a newly queened colony that quick, but we have to do it to make sure that they did emerge. If not, we got to combine them back or give them another cell. So that's just how we do it. It's because of a time issue. It's nothing else. But keep in mind, getting into a colony that soon after you introduce a queen or give it a queen cell can cause them to ball the queen. Keep in mind that dry sugar will help a small colony grow. It'll keep them from starving to death. We do have a small flow on now, but liquid feed can really increase the robbing chances. And like I said before, if your bees start robbing while you're introducing queens, it just took a nosedive. It's gonna, you're looking at 50% chances of getting that queen mated because they won't accept her. The robbing, for some reason, the bees don't accept a queen whenever robbing's going on, and everything has to be hunky-dory in the bee yard. So we really appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more videos. If you like this video, how about hitting the like button? And if you hadn't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We got more stuff coming. Thanks for watching and happy beekeeping.